Hello everyone. A warm welcome to join the CISO Talks, elevate your leadership journey today. This is Vijay. I am your host. Today, we are joined by Mr. Jainendra Kumar, the Vice President, Global Digital Products, India Operations at Xceedance Consulting India Private Limited. He is also a certified independent director. Our guest has a wealth of experience in technology sector. We are excited to learn from him. Today's theme is Digital Insights, Transforming Tomorrow with Technology. Let's start the discussion. Mr. Jay, this is to you. Could you share your career journey?
Sure, Vijay. So first of all, thank you for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to join you today for the webcast. As you asked about the career journey, I started my career in 1996 as a developer, where it was for a very small private company working for Indian Defense Organization, ISRO, and DRDO. That's where my journey started. After that, I worked in Alstom in various capacity in multiple geographies, India, Europe, US, developer role to a tech lead, and then project management role. Then I returned back to India in 2006, I believe, in India, 12 to 13 years, mostly into management and leadership role, where I have played say role around project management to engineering leadership and product leadership, has been associated with both startups and large multinational organizations in their transformative journey and innovation journey. So talking about transformation, I would be involved in transformations around waterfall to agile and lean transformation, then software architectural transformation, that would be monolithic to SOA or microservices architecture transformation, then product management transformation, that would be strong from product management, where product management takes the center stage of their respective products and portfolios. Then I have also been involved in CU leadership around product, also India operations head for Diebold Nixdorf, as well as responsible for innovation. So that's kind of a journey for the last few years, around 12, 13 years, mostly in India, that I have been focusing on.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. It's a quite impressive journey. You have played a various capacity roles and project management, product management. It's very impressive for the growing leaders as well. Thank you for that. Let's dive into the today's theme. What does the theme Digital Insights Transforming Tomorrow with Technology mean to you?
Yeah, this is interesting actually theme. So if I look at immediate few years, how actually digital and technology is going to have an impact. So clearly we see that efficiency is one of them. Second would be experience. When I say experience, it will be both customer experience and employee experience. And third is transparency. So when I talk about efficiency, it is efficiency in the business context, where work is being done, and at the same time, efficiency in consumers' context also. So, and then similarly experience as well. And that is where the technology has been actually, creating some level of impact. One more thing that we see is around transparency, where that the data analytics and the data science is playing a major role in creating or making sure that the information is available to the right people at the right time and to people beyond and the broader audience as well. Then after that, I think beyond this, the technology has to play, and that will be my wish that technology and digital starts playing roles around ESG aspect, which will be environmental and sustainability. We have started to see at least good amount of conversations and global focus around environment and sustainability. I wish now technology and digital starts playing significant role there. Some effort has already started, but I see that going forward, that is an area where we will start to see significant difference that technology and digital will start to play.
Yeah. So you said data analytics, information availability at right time for the right people. Also, it is impacting efficiency, customer experience, all matters to ensure that there is a sustainability in the sector. Thank you for that insight.
So that's what I say. I'm saying is that's kind of the immediate where we see that efficiency, customer experience, employee experience, and transparency is already there, right? People are using it for that.
Yes.
Where the things have started, where the technology and digital technology has started to make a little bit of impact, or at least an area where things are moving towards is sustainability and environment. But that's an area where we see that there is a good scope in the coming future.
Yes, rightly said. Thank you for that, Jay. Next is, could you provide examples of industries that have been significantly impacted by digital transformations?
That's interesting. So, I don't think that any industry now, when we are in 2023, there are any industry where digital transformation has not put an impact, whether it is, let's start with railways. I remember those days where we used to, stand in queue to get those tickets. Gone are those days, right? You can buy those tickets here itself. You have RFIDs, to track, whether person has got into the train or not, or in the bus. Banking, I remember, I have worked in banking and insurance. Few years back, banking and insurance were told that it either not be much impact, where people were very, very skeptical about it. But now, if you look at the banking, the UPI, who would have thought that you can go without cash for months, or sometime even or maybe years in India? You don't need a cash. So that is the impact. Then of course insurance is a little lacking behind, where it is mostly still that kind of consumer experience has not come, but that will surely we will start to see that from a yearly annual renewal to maybe a monthly payment cycle, and portability of carriers, and those things will start to show up in insurance room. And also, but we are a little away from that, but we will surely be there. Let's talk about even automobile industry. Now, we have automobiles who can self-drive itself. There is a lot of impact there, right? What else? If I look at traditional, industries, now we are talking about Industry 4.0, where technology and the robots and those things are going to play a significant role in improving the employee sector. Say one at safety, and also the quality of the work or the product which comes out of it. So significantly, we see that digital and technology is going to help in improving the safety, quality of the product. So that's how I see it. Yeah, and there is no, even in, I would say, education industry, right, which is very, very, say, regulated. Now the students are studying from, using laptops, tablets, and mobile. So it's a significant change and transformation that technology has brought across all the industries and in our day-to-day life.
Yeah. So can we consider all these as the positive impact for the industry and people? Is that correct understanding?
It's a combination of both positive and negative. It's more about how we kind of relate to it. How do we take it? Idea is definitely that we create a positive impact through technology and all the improvement that is happening in technology, but not necessarily, because there is always other aspects to it. How people can use technology in the in again, like on the positive side as well as in the negative connotation. It's up to us as a human being how to use those technology again, like if you look at this technology is also making a significant impact in defense.
Yes.
So that's also there, right? But at the same time, technology is being used by the negative forces also. But it's just a balance, right? Or how we have to kind of manage that. But definitely, advancement of technology is helping the human race. It's just that there is a balance which we need to kind of maintain.
There is a balance required.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever wants to use the technology. Understood. Thank you for that. So next is, how does technology drive our innovation, disrupt traditional industries?
Yes, so that's a few examples that I talked about, right? Traditional industry.
Yes.
So robots, right? We definitely see, and robots are now in plenty in industries. One, why we needed one to increase our efficiency, and then things were very, very difficult, right? So that's how the robot was invented. It helped us in getting those difficult work done, easily, and at the same time bring safety to the employees who were involved in such work. So, for example, the extreme will be, nuclear power plant, right? Would you like to expose humans to such radiations? Definitely not. And robots are the best people to be, or best, best resources to be employed in such kind of industries. Similarly, steel industries and even boilers, right? These are very, very high temperature zones where, having humans there will, cause significant issues for them, whole industry. So these are industries where, robots are going to play, and having robots are definitely beneficial. Now I can give you an example, from my days with banking where we had ATM. And again, I'm talking about now non-hazardous places, right, where humans that the robots are augmenting humans. So, there was a need to kind of test the ATMs, and there was a lot of work that needed to do human simulated activities. So robots were trained, and robots would do those activities while the humans are sleeping in the night. So that's there. So if I look at education industry, coming back to the education industry, so that entire questions, those are now getting generated through technology. So question papers are also generated. People are now able to take examinations from the comfort of their homes, and still there are technology at the back end which ensures that there is no cheating and people are not browsing or getting help from somebody else. So all this technology innovation and interventions are making life of human beings comfortable, easier, and those difficult jobs which we were exposed to or which we were doing in the past are now being done by technology and through technology interventions. So that's how I see, and even, now, talking about the software aspects, where even development, software development itself is an industry, and I see now, we as developers using technology to help us in the software development, and that is, I think you will have more questions around it. I will save my answers for that. But that's where I see significant impact in the industries that technology is making.
Yes. So in my days when I completed my colleges, at that time, in one of the steel rolling mills, they were using the human beings to operate the furnaces. It was a very dangerous work for the human being. But as you said, yes, now automatics and robotics are being used where the safety is concerned, and they are ensuring that no human beings are avoided such kind of a risky works. That's a message.
Yeah. And look at drones and humanless pilot bombers. So that also is like things where it is hazardous drones. So you use robots and self-flying bombers and planes for those work, rather than exposing human beings to go into war zone and difficult situations.
Yeah, it's a positive impact only. That's what I see. Thank you for that. So I see there are lots of happenings at the workplace, right? So in your view, how is technology reshaping the workplace?
Significantly, few years back, and this is a very good question that you have asked. A few years back, we would be talking about workflow improvement. So generally, wherever there is a work setup, you have some processes, and they are generally we call it as workflows. So I remember we always used to have, how do we improve this workflow? Can we do a Lean Six Sigma or value stream mapping to look for opportunities to improve the workflow throughput? So that was the conversation. Wherever there is an opportunity of automation, you bring those automations to reduce the manual repetitive tasks, right? So that was the conversation. Now things is very, very different. With the invent of AI and Chat GPT, I can give you my example. How it is impacting. At my level, yes, I can tell you a couple of examples. Release notes was to be sent, and then we have a security document for customer was to be sent. Generally, in the old days, I will go to somebody and say, can you create this template, and then get all this data point filled in, and then I would review and send it across, right, for both, whether it is release note and that customer set. But what now I can do is I can just ask the generative AI to kind of create that template in the right context in which I want, and that is how I did it. So that is bringing a significant difference in how people are, how technology and AI is now impacting the workplace. I can give you, and this is one example that I'm giving you about myself, but there are co-pilots across where everybody is familiar with Excel, PowerPoint, Word document, and now there is a co-pilot available in all of these tools that many of the work that we used to do and it would take us weeks to do can be done in a matter of hours. The role has changed from a creator to more like a reviewer, and yeah, so that's a significant. And even I would say at every level, like, these are like, even the developers, they are using now AI to generate code. I don't want to name the organization. It's a very large organization, but let me share, what they have done. It's in the banking domain. So one, their entire QA, which is quality assurance process, they have automated it using AI, which includes their user experience testing. So the AI is able to kind of come up with user experience use cases or simulate such user experience test cases as well. They are also running a pilot where because of the technology advent, and these are like large global banks, they are running a setup where once they have kind of carved out a 1,000-member team, and where they are now asking technology or the digital leader to take the P&L responsibility and the roles, and then the operations team will be kind of supporting them. So far, there was a trend where operations team in the banking used to take the front end and technology was supporting it. Expect that to change, and there are pilots going on across different organizations for the such thing, and this will be a big impact. And there is a reason why actually it is happening, because there are smaller organizations, small organizations. They are coming up with the tech first and providing a very kind of a different level of user experience, which is forcing the larger incumbents to kind of change their plan, and they are also now feeling the need to actually go with the technology or the digital first approach, and that's where we see a significant change happening. I hope I have covered a wide range.
Yes, so you have covered the wide range. However, my key takeaway is change is happening, adopt it. That's very important message. Yeah, thank you for that. What skills will be the high in demand in the industry in the future job market, due to technological advancements happening?
Again, a very good question that you have asked. This is the conversations already happening at the C level in almost every organization. There is a change in the kind of a skill set that organizations now need. Most of those mundane, repetitive, mechanical kind of tasks are going away and will go away very, very quickly. We as individual or workers in organizations will have to start accepting that we will have co-workers who are machines or bots, right? I'm not talking about robots, but these are like machines running in the data centers, doing most of those mundane, mechanical or repetitive tasks that we were doing. That will all go away, right? And machines will be doing those. So we have to accept that first, right? That we have now machine as co-workers working along with us. So that's an acceptance that we will have to bring. With that, there is going to be a significant change in the organization setup. It is going to be much more leaner. Of course, newer roles and those things will start to come up, and those will be more like machine supervisory role, ensuring that there is a human in the loop who is doing more like a review of this work that machines are generating, and then ensuring that still, because ultimately there are regulations, rules, laws, which are not applicable to these machines, but they all are applicable to the human beings. So there would be definitely a need for people to kind of be there to kind of approve and take those, because ownership and accountability still will be with humans, but tasks will get done there, right? Now coming back onto the technology and the digital side, that is where also we see a very significant amount of change happening. Uh, you know, Machines are being used to generate code. We are talking here about low code and no code. So a significant amount of change is happening there as well. QA people, those. So of course, the skill of QA and the mindset is still very critical. But again, will you be doing that individually, that task, or you will have those machines actually doing those tasks, and you kind of playing that task of orchestrating. So the strategic task, orchestration and review of things that machines are doing, we will start to see roles coming around in those areas. Again, we'll also see machines now training machines, and that's an area which is like kind of a next generation, and that is where we will talk about ethics and those things. That how do we kind of control that, and there is a significant amount of effort that is needed around that as well. But yeah, we are going to see. I think we are at a verge again. It will be very, very fast. And talking about insurance industry, we are already seeing that happening. And same is the case with all the other. And banking, I've already given you an example of. There are same thing happening in other industries as well. Yeah. So it's a big challenge for the C-level people to how do you kind of train their existing resources to kind of now take the newer role which is coming around.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that insight. To precise that, change in skill set is required, and whatever the maintenance, repetitive work that will be taken over by the machines, maybe working with the machines, there will be some leaner in the position, and newer rules also will come in the future. So I see the audience is raising the hand. Megha, yeah. Yeah, please go ahead with your question to the speaker.
Sure. Hi. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hi, Jainendra. My question is, you just mentioned about the ethics in AI. So what are the potential ethical challenges that are associated with this AI adoption?
Good question. Good question, Megha. So, again, I will go with how Microsoft is doing it. So there is and other large technology players, the big three. Everybody is putting in place something called responsible AI, and there is always a team which is now responsible for ensuring that there is a responsible AI in play. And as part of that, everywhere, from a user's perspective, Microsoft, as an example, they are coming up with something called Copilot. They are not saying that, AI is going to take all the job, but AI is an assistant to the individuals, but the individual has to take the ownership and the responsibility of applying or adopting or applying the suggestions that comes from the Copilot. So Copilot is there on your, sitting along with you on the driving seat, but there is still a co-pilot. They are not the pilot. The pilot will have to take the decisions. That is the responsibility. And the reason, and going a little technical on the technical side, and there is a reason why actually it is needed. Because there are, biases in the system. I talked about, of course, legal and regulatory framework, which is definitely there because somebody has to take accountability. Machines are not, right? You are driving an automated car. If it makes an accident, cops, who will they, challan? Will they be challaning the machine? But so that's also there. But I'm talking about now the technical aspects. There are chances of having bias, and in the gender bias because these machines learn from data and experience, and they don't have the other level of judgment to be applied. So there is a good possibility that there could be gender bias, child, the age group bias that starts to show up into the system because of the very nature how the AI development, works. So that is where, these are the things where you start to, put a check, and it is very, very important. Second aspect I talked about, machines starting to teach machines where actually you enable it, where you not, So those are something that is where the responsive AI development actually comes into play, and there will be other use cases as well. But it is very, very important that we start thinking, responsible AI, and as a development ecosystem, it is all our responsibility to actually ensure that we have a check and balance around the AI adoption. We are at an inflection point where things can go either way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, for that. We have Arup raising the hand. Arup, please go with your question.
Hi, good morning. Am I audible, Vijay?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Jainendra ji. It's wonderful insights and a lot of experience and examples as you have shared on this exciting topic what Vijay has started with. I have a different questions altogether to thought about it. That as you rightly mentioned about generative AI, responsive AI, as well as co-pilot. So I was thinking about that. Pushed me into a different thought completely. That if AI and digital transformation has put a lot of challenges, as you also covered about that, how the CXOs have started thinking about how to take their organizations going forward. What would be the plan for their employees and all. Now, as an individual, while the organizations will go, all the technologies will evolve, all that will happen, and nobody can avoid that. It has to be aligned with that. But as an individual, what are the areas one must look at? For example, in today's scenario, if I talk about whether it is India or outside India, if you look at the academics, if you look at the education systems, are how what is your thought process? That don't you think that besides the digital transformation journey, or as digital transformation is taking a big leap to making the changes across various countries and organizations, how would our education systems to be aligned with that individuals will get ready because if you look at today's scenarios, the skill sets, as you rightly said, that there are repetitive works will get automated, that particular skill sets will go off. So where they will go, how they will upskill, whether they are ready to do the upskills or not. So one is the question. My thought process is aligned to the education systems, how that has to be transformed equally. One, to make, as we are talking about industry 4, so similarly the academics also to be get ready with the various standards, to get ready to supply the resources accordingly to the organizations, corporates. The other questions I have also, sorry, I'm just taking your time, that while all this getting automated, it is all fine, the technology will there, all the necessary things will there, but how all these, when just think about that, the world is move ahead down the line, maybe 6 months or 1 year, considering the technology is evolved so fast. But how about that the risk factors is also growing? And I'm sure that people are talking about digital transformation, but I'm not sure how much we are concerned about the risk factors we are also contributing to each and every aspects of it. Why I'm saying that risk factors? Because any of the processes, any of the automations, any of the entire engineering, what you are talking about, whether it is automated or co-pilot, any of the systems fails, how it will take the recovery time to the business comes back. Don't you feel that we are contributing a huge risk until unless we do have a proper risk and mitigation plan in place? And if that is, how that has to be organizations to plan across.
Okay, great. Arup, you have asked two different questions into two
Yes.
areas. So let me address the one which is a little difficult, but I think that's a very interesting and a challenging question, not just for us, but for a broader audience, which is about the education system. And you have rightly said, so it's not just about the technology, but the technology is now has started to disrupt the education system, and it is a big challenge that how do we ensure that technology is not used, and what Vijay was saying, in a negative sense, that remember, we started using calculator, and now we don't even bother about what 99 multiplied by 99 arithmetic calculation. We just go and open the technology. Similarly, Chat GPT for writing thesis, or for I see my kid actually using now Chat GPT to come up with articles. So that is a much bigger challenge as well from the education system. Now talking about the education system at a level to produce skill set for the industry, it's a mega shift. I think the education curriculum is still way behind. But having said that, and there are newer players which are getting into the education system to bridge that gap. And I don't want to name them, but let me do that because there is an organization I am big a fan of, and it's great. They have recently launched their university also, and then there are others also. I don't want to name those, but again, like in what you can understand that industry is now pinpointing on certain universities and education institutions which are more aligned futuristic to the roles in demand for creating those skill sets or bringing those skill sets. So that's definitely happening. So with this, I think it will put pressure on the other educational institutions to adopt, and that adoption we will start to see those adoptions as they start to see that the organizations are shifting from traditional educational institutions to now more skill-based institutions, and that's kind of terminology. If you look at, they start to call themselves more around skill-based university and educational institutions. So that shift is already happening, and as individuals, my recommendation anyway for everyone is to start looking at developing skills themselves. Organizations are also contributing, but people have to start learning the technical aspects. Now coming about the risk factor on the business side, that's a challenge, of course, right? But that's where the entire organizational leadership actually is there, and I think it's the other way around, where the business leadership is already ensuring and are very, very risk averse. They are the gatekeepers of introducing such technologies. So that's sorted. I think no new technology is going to get into the industry unless it is all proven and it is providing the right results. Sometimes we do see there are biases there because many of the organizations are focused mostly around the P&L aspects, the revenue, and this is being driven by the financial metrics. Which may have a little bit of adverse impact, but with the advent of the ESG measures, which is environmental sustainability and governance measures, hope that will start to counteract, balance that not just the financial objectives, but also the environmental and the sustainability also will start to play a significant role, and organizations will start to measure those and ensure that those things are also taken care of. And it is high time that we start taking those also very, very seriously at organizational level. So that is still balanced, and I think of course a lot of work has to be done there, but there are check and balances. But I think to your point, education sector's readiness is an area of concern. There is going to be a big divide between the way the technology is moving as compared to the skill set that is available in the market and more so, and the more important what I see is the current skill set which is there in the system. They need to get upgraded and retrained. And are there educational system out there to actually help them? Barring a few, I don't know of more. Our traditional education system, of course, there is right? There is an MBA program, master's program, and all those things. But if you talk about the AI and looking at the middle management training around AI, technology, digital, those things are still lacking, and that is an area where somebody will that's a scope for somebody to actually come in. I think some or the other entrepreneur will come in and bridge that gap.
Okay, I think wonderful. Thank you so much, Jainendra ji. I can I take some more time, Vijay?
Yes, please.
Okay, Jainendra, I think you have exactly pointed out. I will take that point from there. That as you rightly said, that there would be entrepreneurs who will bring or introduce some of the solutions. Now, just to extend from there, that I was much worried about that where we are going ahead with the way the entire platform or industries are being disruptive. Do you foresee that there would be in near future that entire approach of business, what we are looking at today, large enterprise SMBs, that will completely got changed to only SMBs and entrepreneurs all across? Large enterprise and enterprises might not be able to sustain or until unless they are typically a product development or research organizations. What is your thought process?
Arup, that's never going to happen. Large enterprises have a lot of money. so there will be consolidation. Large enterprises will become agile.
Where I'm coming from, your point is very correct. That will not happen immediately. But I'm coming from that if the new generations, if you look at new generations coming up, and if I'm talking about typical tech savvy folks, they would like to, instead of by introducing all that autonomous technologies, chat GPT, and all the necessary things, mostly the most important is everybody is talking about prompt engineering. On that perspective, everybody would like to focus on there. And if generations will start focusing on that, they will start thinking that why I need to contribute to the enterprise while I can focus on whatever I am contributing. I will build the solutions for myself and sell it to the enterprises or SMBs. So from that perspective, I
totally understand, and that is definitely will be there. There will be a lot of entrepreneurs and those things. So entrepreneurs will come in. A few will become big and big very, very fast, and there will be change, of course. Not every organization will remain there, and it's the case now also, right? It's just that the cycle time, is going to reduce. There was it was taking 7 30, 40 years, that may get reduced. But yeah, few organizations who are agile, who are able to transform themselves, they will remain in business. So, and that's today as well, right? There are very few organizations who you would see who have sustained for 100 years or 200 years, but those organizations are really an innovative and adaptive organization. So it's more about the organization culture, how they are, what values they have. And to your point, newer organizations will come, they will be able to disrupt the incumbents very fast. But at the same time, the larger organizations who have the right set of culture, if the way, they have leadership who can actually transform themselves, they will survive. And of course, those organizations who are reluctant, who still think, those organizations who think that they can, business is as usual, they will have difficult times to survive.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think you have rightly shared your views, and that is very correct to understand. Thank you so much. Vijay, I'm good.
Thank you, Arup. It was a wonderful question, and thank you, Jay, for your insights. It's learning for us. I see Sham is rising. Sham, please go ahead with your question.
Hi, colleague. Jainendra ji, one question is like, why we are pursuing digital transformation? And the second question is, what new technology do you think will be important in the future?
Sham, yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. Digital transformation. So, in my mind, when I think about digital transformation, I think about more on business transformation. And again, what Arup was asking about, the organization's long-term sustainability and organization, and for that, you have to be adaptive. What happens is, with the rate which the way technology is evolving, and newer and newer digital technology and tools are coming, the entire consumer experience changes, and consumer behaviors also change. What was not acceptable a few years back is now not just a need, but it is implicit. So with that comes the need to actually evolve more from a customer experience perspective, because your customers' expectations have changed because of the newer technologies. That is one. Second is that because of technology, and the first thing I talked about is technology and digital impact is around efficiency, and organizations sees that there are they play in a competitive space, and PNL is a key metric. So definitely, efficiency, if technology can bring in, is a key factor for driving digital transformation along with customer and employee experience, and that is what is driving this entire digital technology. But along with that, I talked about business transformation. So business transformation around your workflow and all those things that happens. But at the same time, with digital transformation, you get an opportunity to start looking at newer business models, newer revenue models, and that creates competitive edge for the organizations. And organizations see digital transformation not just for improving efficiency or retaining or improving customer experiences, but the organizations which are mature, they start looking at digital transformation as an opportunity to, bring forward newer business models, newer revenue models. And you can see, you can, if you look at ICICI Bank, just think about it, the kind of innovation that they have done through digital, and they are the market leader in India in the banking sector. A very good case study to look at. And then the other companies followed. Who would know that, or who would have ever thought that SBI will go digital? And now SBI is giving a tough challenge to these private banks who is pretty much mostly digital. So that is how, right? I would say that one is definitely the internal aspects. One is the consumer demand, because consumer is asking for it. And if you don't give those to consumer, they will go away. Your business is at risk if you don't give that. So those are anyways driving it. The third aspect is that, okay, how do I, create a competitive differentiator? I become I see my, I become a different, I am a little ahead of my competitors. So these are 3 or 4 factors generally kind of drive the digital transformation.
Yeah, thank you, Jitendra. Another question: we are just speaking about the AI and co-pilot. One question suddenly coming to my mind, that is, what are the potential benefit and drawback of this AI and co-pilot? If you can give an example.
Yeah. So definitely, I also think about the job. Of course, I am bringing those efficiency and all those things, but in the longer run, you still have to have that human in the loop, right? Who will make those decisions. The challenge, I think, would be that, our challenge is that about the skill set. Do we have that skill set to actually somebody who can, automate it? But the bigger challenge is going to be, how do you get those people who are experienced enough to make those decisions? Currently those people have gone through the daily grinds to get to a level where they know what is right and what is wrong. But if people are heavily dependent on machines, will they? I'm not sure, but that's a question that I definitely ask myself. And I think organizations will have to start thinking in that direction, ensuring that there is a proper training, and those things are also provided to the individuals, so that they are trained in making those decisions. So that is one of the challenges. Definitely, I talked about education, the education sector also. People are now using, earlier, people were given assignments, and kids were supposed to do those assignments and submit it back, and that is how you would rate or review the student. But now with the technology, they are using technology to come up with those, assignments. So are you rating those individuals, or are you rating the chat GPT or the machine? So that's there. I remember, when we were in college, the questions that were asked to us were very, very different. Good that some of our teachers started having open book questions. This was mostly experience-based questions that, or experimental questions that were being asked. So now, our education system and the teachers will have to think through it, that, okay, how do you now rethink the entire education process, or education and assessment process, so that kids are learning, not just leveraging technology to submit those assessments. So a lot of things has to be rethought across all the different industries, because this is the challenge, and this is a real challenge, and not necessarily we see it now, but in 5-6 years, this will show up as a big challenge across the globe. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, then. Thank you very much. I'm done.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Shyam, for the wonderful question. I see Mehesh raising the hand. Okay, so this would be the last question, Jay. How is the artificial intelligence, changing the way we approach problem solving and decision making in our current scenarios?
Yeah, I guess I think I have touched on it already. That every aspect, AI is currently, we don't see on a day-to-day basis in our daily life, but still very soon, everywhere it will, you will see AI. There will be, AI actually help, providing you a number of, say like the co-pilot, right? A few things, and you will basically be selecting the right things that is to be done. But I think everybody has to be educated about the AI, and the reason is because the law and the compliance and those things still will be lacking behind, and innovation is going to run far faster as compared to and these things, law, regulations, regulatory bodies will be lacking behind, and that is where humans will have to kind of play the role where they are responsible and they are using AI responsibly. And that is where I see that there is going to be on a day-to-day basis that we'll have to kind of be cautious and about using AI. But AI will definitely be there, no issue about it. We have to best prepare ourselves to best use the AI responsibly.
All right. Yeah. So,
yeah, just to add, about sustainability, right? But so I think as currently when you look at sustainability, you think it moves from a environment perspective. We will start to have an element of AI in our sustainability thought also, that whenever we are working on AI, we think about long-term sustainability of the environment and be very, very responsible in the way we use AI, because we don't want AI to actually have an impact on long-term sustainability of the world, the universe.
Thank you, Jai, for your insights. So from this session, I have learned the digital transformations, which is going to be the business transformation, and it is going to create a newer business model, newer business revenue model, where C-level people are working on it, and yes, we have to be, ready for the adoption. That is the key takeaway for me. With this, I would like to conclude the session. Thank you, Jainendra, for your great time and giving your insights, and it is very more learnable to us. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, audience, for raising the wonderful questions to the speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Vijay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.